Hello, welcome to another edition of the Fatu Network News Review. Today, Wednesday, 11th July 2018, I am Omar Wali. In the headlines tonight, the former Vice President Fatoumata Jallow Tambajang has rejected President Barrow's job offer. And the Standard newspaper also is reporting that the Social Security staff strike has ended and SAR replaces Kurang at the commission. The Voice newspaper also is reporting that Mamour Job is the new Inspector General of Police. Then, as we reported yesterday, that GRTS gets new Director General. And the Foraya newspaper is reporting that Lieutenant Yahya Jammeh alleges torture. They also report in the GRTS gets new DG, and the Social Security and Housing Finance Corporations end sit-down strike. So those are the headlines. So I will start with the Standard newspaper. The Standard is reporting that the Deputy Permanent Secretary at the Ministry of Justice, Ramatoulaye Sarr, has been appointed Secretary to the Janek Commission, replacing Alhaji Mamadou Kurang, who was sacked recently. According to the Justice Minister, Abubakar Tambedou, Kurang's position became unattainable after he made unproven allegations against the Commission Counsel Ami Bensouda. And Khalifa Sallah also asked President Barrow to tell Assembly about the state of the nation. The National Assembly member for Serekunda, Khalifa Sallah, has said that the House had anticipated that after the donor conference in Brussels, President Barrow will, as required under Section 77 of the Constitution, address the House on the policies of the government and the administration of the state And the same on the Standard newspaper, 14 people charged over Brikama police station attack. At least 14 people, 3 of them minors, who recently attacked Brikama police station, demanding to mete out the mob justice on the initial murder suspect detained, were on Monday charged with 2 counts punishable for malicious injuries and, in general, an unlawful assembly. 300 million rice production project starts. The Islamic Development Bank and the Ministry of Finance, under the Central Projects Coordinating Unit at the Ministry of Agriculture, have commenced the implementation of 300 million project designed to improve rice production in the country. And the Social Security staff and the sit-down strike. Also on the Standard newspaper, the staff of the Social Security and Housing Finance Corporation have called off their strike. The Senegalo-Gambia Secretariat gets a new head. The new executive secretary has been appointed for the Senegalo-Gambian Permanent Secretariat. He is ambassador for the SEC. He replaces Paul Badji, whose 3 years term ends this month. And Abdou Touré, as we reported yesterday, has been appointed the Director General of GRTS. Moving on to the Voice newspaper, the Voice is reporting that the Gambia Police Force has announced the appointment of Alhaji Mamour Job as the Inspector General of the Gambia Police Force, effect from July 9, 2018. He was acting IGP when the Landing Kinte resigned following the incident in Faraba Banta. They also reporting the GRTS gets new DG, Social Security and strikes. And I will check on the Foraya newspaper. Lieutenant Yahya Jammeh, these were soldiers involved in the WhatsApp, and this Foraya is reporting that Lieutenant Yahya Jammeh told the court-martial yesterday that he was tortured and forced to sign a statement. On the 26th, I quote, "On the 26th of July 2017, I was taken to the NIA by Lieutenant Yusuf Jallow, where I was tortured," said Jammeh. According to him, the Exhibit B is not only a statement that he wrote himself voluntarily without the presence of independent witness. According to Exhibit D, Exhibit D was written by Captain Alhaji Kamara and signed by him involuntarily. The Foraya also is reporting that the Social Security ends the sit-down strike. And finally, they said at the Faraba Bantan Commission, 2 people, Swaibu K. Sanyang and Suleiman Jaju, testified at the commission which was instituted by President Barrow to look into the incident which took place a few weeks ago. And I will also talking to Mam Banyik Njai, the propaganda secretary for Gambia Democratic Congress. Yesterday, the GDC issued a press release, and they made mention of raised concerns and for the Barrow government to pay attention to several issues. Mr. Njai, welcome.
Thank you, Omar.
Well, like I said, you are the propaganda secretary of the Gambia Democratic Congress. I've gone through the press release, and as it reads, the Gambia Democratic Congress Party and its leader, Honorable Mama Kande, wish to put to the task the government of the Gambia on the current and pertinent issues affecting the Gambia and her citizens. So, going through I read this includes the cabinet reshufflement, the appointment of Ousainou Darboe as the vice president, the insecurity, land dispute, the commission of inquiries, and among other things, including diesel and petrol price. And to start with the reshufflement, it reads that inasmuch as Section 71 and Section 72 of the Constitution has given the President the powers to appoint and relieve cabinet members, this will have, however, be done with certain sensitivity in mind, such as being gender and competent sensitive. What exactly do you mean by this?
Thank you very much, Omar. It's good to be here with you this afternoon. Obviously, when we talk about gender sensitive and competent base, we mean that over the years, the Gambia has made a lot of giant strides in terms of encouraging more women into the decision-making process of government in this country. And like I said, some giant strides have been made. But if you look at this current Barrow executive, I guess there are only 2 women out of 18 ministries. I think definitely it will not be far-fetched for anybody to say that it is not well balanced. Now, in terms of competence, like we said, Section 71 and Section 72 empowers the president to appoint and to dismiss ministers. However, those that are being removed must have been removed based on the fact that they were incompetent in delivering the services for which they were appointed. And those who should replace them should also be appointed by virtue of the fact that people are convinced, and the president is convinced, that they are more competent than the people that they are replacing. But in this case, even if they had said that they don't want to tell the Gambian people what these people have done or the wrongs they have committed, the issue concerned should have been told why they are being removed. But each one of them was interviewed, and they said that they did not understand or know why they were removed. So we're saying that if you have to remove a minister, or let me start from appointing. If you have to appoint a minister, it has to be based on your conviction that the person has the qualification, the competence, and the efficiency to run that particular public office. But also, if you have to remove that person from office, it has to be based on the fact that the person was found to be wanting, the person was found to be incompetent. So this is what we mean by it has to be one, that constitution of that cabinet has to be gender sensitive, but also appointments in all strata of government should be competent based.
Now, before you go further, we understand you served as a permanent secretary during the Jammeh era. When you were dismissed, were you informed why you were dismissed?
I was never informed. And that is precisely why the Gambian people clamored for change, that there has to be transparency in governance. So because in those days, people were not being informed of the reasons for their dismissal, doesn't mean that it has to be continued in this new dispensation. Remember, that's why we said change for a new and better Gambia.
You have been clamoring for change. Gambians have been clamoring for change. But you serve in the highest position in this country. That is what we call secrecy. If in the event that Mambanyik Njai was involved in a scandal, he was dismissed, should the government come forward and said, he stole a car, that's why we dismiss him? What do you think about, or the better thing will be like, we just let him go off. That's the best thing, rather than coming forward and said, he did this and that and that.
No, but remember, after I was dismissed in June 25th, 2012. And I was arrested, I guess, 4 or 5 months later in October 2012 and taken to court for what they call giving false information to a public officer. So I would have thought that if that was the reason why I was dismissed, it should have been indicated in my letter that I am being dismissed because I provided false information to a public officer. But nothing was said to me. And based on what you are trying to say, that because perhaps Gambia is a small country, I have committed a crime, you know, it shouldn't be said in public. Okay, fine, I agree. But even when that was not done, I was still arrested and charged for giving false information to a public officer, a charge which I vehemently denied until the day I was acquitted and discharged. You understand what I mean? This is why I have said that even if it is not made public, the person concerned should know why he or she is being dismissed.
So imagine your government, GDC government is in place. When they hired a minister without consulting anybody and they fired him, you will give him the letter, but call him in what we call, like Donald Trump will say, locker room talk, inside, and tell him this is the reason why we fire. That's what you are advocating.
Exactly. So that when he or she goes out, they would have gone with a clear idea of why they've been dismissed. And then the person coming in also would realize why the person he or she is replacing was dismissed, and in effect will avoid making similar mistakes, and to understand that public office is not an opportunity or a money-making venture. Public office is meant to serve the interests of the people for the good of the country.
Now, looking at another paragraph here, the portfolio of a women affairs is best administered by our highly educated and competent women who constituted over 50% of our population. Currently, as it is stated there are currently only 2 women in cabinet out of 18 ministers, and this shows how serious setback after recent gains in women empowerment and gender equality. If it was GDC government in place, how many female ministers will you have out of the 18 or out of the 20 ministers?
I wouldn't be able to give you specific figures.
Approximately.
But I can tell you that we will work as much as possible to make it a balanced cabinet. I wouldn't say 50-50. I wouldn't dare to give you numbers, but I can tell you, I can assure you that we have confidence and faith in the ability of the Gambian women. And that's why I'm saying it would have been a more balanced cabinet than it is now.
We have been hearing issues like women empowerment. You talked about competent, but should we also have women in cabinet for the sake of women empowerment when they will not be able to deliver?
But you've already seen the content of that press release. It highlights 2 critical issues: gender, but competence.
Yes.
In that regard, we are not saying that you should just go out there and appoint any woman into a cabinet position. But you have to look at the competence of the woman. If the woman is more competent than the man, or they have equal competencies, then I believe that the consideration should be given to the woman by virtue of the fact that we have lesser women in cabinet positions.
Talking about the cabinet reshufflement, I wish I have a lawyer here because I'm trying to get one to get you out of all this confusion. But before we come to Darboe's issue, we'll talk about the reshufflement. They said it's also a betrayal of those that sacrificed their whole and wealth by appointing ministers from the previous government to your cabinet when you are on record saying, your first press conference saying you have enough talent and manpower in the coalition to help you run a government that will mirror the new Gambia. So you people also, I can say, you have something or eyebrows, you're raising eyebrows against the appointment of a certain minister. Who is this minister? Who was in the previous government? Well, Barrow appointed.
You know. I'm sure you are a journalist and you've gone through the press release. You've seen that we've mentioned specifically.
Yes, but I want you to come to
we've mentioned specifically Mamburi, and it doesn't go to say that we have any personal qualms with him. But we're just making a point. We are hammering a point home. When President Barrow organized his first press conference, a particular journalist did ask that relevant question, that will there be any time during his reign that he will appoint the former Jammeh loyalists into cabinet? And he said no, because within the coalition, we have enough qualified manpower to help the restructuring agenda of the Gambia government. So now, what we are trying to say is, if you had already made Gambians believe that you have enough competent manpower within the coalition, why would you then go out there and appoint somebody who many people perceive to be a Jammeh loyalist, or people who are perceived to have been aiding and abetting Jammeh. Remember, it is critical for the GDC to bring this up. You know why? Because each time GDC does something with APRC, or an APRC supporter joins the GDC, it's like GDC and APRC are the same. But then it's okay for this government to appoint people from the previous regime, and then nobody says anything. So this is the point we are trying to hammer home. And also, to say that there cannot be inconsistency in governance. You say A and tomorrow you act B. That is incomprehensible. And for me, I really believe that within all the parties that are a party to the signatory of that agreement that established the coalition, there are people who have the competence, or even outside, people who have the qualification and have never worked for APRC. But remember also, it doesn't also mean to say that anybody who had worked with Yahya Jammeh cannot be appointed. But the issue here is that Mamburi is currently going to the commission to answer to certain questions. And remember, this commission is dealing with the financial activities of former President Jammeh and his close associates. Right. Now, what we are trying to say is, before appointing anybody who is currently engulfed in this commission of inquiry, we should wait until the commission concludes its job and then submit its recommendations to the government. Then anybody who is found to be innocent, obviously we are all Gambians, and anybody could be appointed to serve the interests of the Gambian people.
Let's say the best thing for GDC would be the commission finish the ANREC recommendation. If they set this man free, Barrow should appoint him whenever he wants to appoint him.
Exactly, because he's a Gambian, and we know that he has the competence. I personally believe that he has the competence to deliver. But the message that the Barrow government is sending is really conflicting. Because you cannot say that you are investigating President Jammeh and his close associates, and at the same time, appointing those people into cabinet positions even before the commission concludes its activities.
Now, you're talking about how many women do you have in GDC executive?
A lot of them.
Yeah.
Frankly, I cannot give you a figure right here, but we have so many women within the GDC ranks and file. So many of them.
In the highest position?
In the highest position, at the level of the executive.
I know the Fall lady,
Tina Fall.
And
yes.
what can you tell me one or two other people?
Ndeye is also there. KMC, Fatmata Jabi is also there. I know a lot of them are there, but maybe it will be difficult for me to just mention their names here. But I know we have a lot of them within the GDC executive.
So you also mentioned in the press release that the inconsistency and betrayal of the ideals and the aspiration of the new Gambia are so apparent, and I will leave it to the Gambian people to judge. What exactly do they mean by that?
You know, Omar,
yes.
These people negotiated and agreed on certain principles to establish a coalition. And part of those agreements was that anybody who was appointed to lead the coalition would resign from his or her party to become an independent candidate. But also, I'm sure, part of the agreement was also that the heads of the political parties would be appointed as ministers. Now, we are not saying that because you are a head of a political party, if you are found to be incompetent, or if you are found to be conflicted, the president cannot remove you. But what we are saying is that if you have removed people who are all party leaders, for example, and maybe one or two people who did not have any political affiliation, but they played an important role in establishing the coalition, then you need to explain, even not to the Gambian people, just like you said, but the people removed need to understand why they have been removed. And the people replacing them, why have you chosen those people to replace these people? The people deserve to know that. Because you cannot, for instance, remove a coalition partner and replace him with another member of another coalition partner.
Okay.
You understand? It's like, in the eyes of the Gambian people, the coalition, we all knew from the beginning that it was a marriage of convenience.
Yes.
But right now it is apparent that it is disintegrating.
Right.
You understand? So this is what we are trying to say, that look, these people came together and established this coalition and they agreed on certain things. Yeah. The Gambians expect a lot from them. Yeah. But if a particular coalition member is found to be wanting, or is found to be incompetent, or is found to be conflicted, of course the president reserves the right to remove the person. Yeah. But can't that particular person be replaced by a person from his or her political party? Since we're talking about a coalition government, at least for the next 3 years. Okay.
So the appointment, okay, like we discussed at Mambo and Chai, but I'm trying to get someone online now to also discuss about the now, before we get that person online, can we, you also talk about the insecurity?
Yes.
Yes. Can you elaborate on that one?
Yeah. It is clear that...
Okay, sorry, we have, hello?
Hello?
Yes, Coach.
Yes.
How are you doing today?
I am doing great, sir.
Good. I'm here with Mambanik Njai.
Yes.
The propaganda secretary of the Gambia Democratic Congress.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not sure if you have seen their press release, which was issued last night.
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now as we speak. It's right here. Yeah, I saw it last night. I'm looking at it as we speak.
Just to give you a brief rundown, they talk about the cabinet reshufflement, the insecurity, the commission of inquiry, the diesel and petrol price, and the appointment of Ousainou Darboe as the vice president. And,
yes.
Okay. Well, I am sure he also a layman. He doesn't. So we want to clear this thing out, the appointment of Ousainou Darboe, because in the press release they said, well, that's the statement from the press release. I am of the view that the appointment as vice president of convicts such as Ousainou Darboe, who has unsuccessfully exhausted all legal appeals to clear his record of criminal conviction, as unconstitutional. Well, they have some grammar issues here, but put quite simply, Ousainou Darboe's appointment as vice president, is it constitutional or unconstitutional?
Well, according to my opinion, I think the press release, they've made a terrible mistake.
Right.
The appointment of Ousainou Darboe as vice president is absolutely constitutional.
So it's constitutional. Will you let it
yes.
come? All right, Coach, just a moment. He said that is constitutional. Why did you people say it is unconstitutional?
Well, you know, in our opinion, it was a criminal trial and a criminal conviction. Okay. We understood that when the new dispensation came into being, the prison gates were virtually open to set people free. Right. But whether or not legal procedure was followed in pardoning some of these prisoners becomes an issue to be debated. Like I said, I'm not a legal person. Right. I'm not legally minded, but we believe that a proper pardon should have been in place before these people could be. Because for me, my personal opinion is that the reason why Mr. Darboe actually appealed the conviction is because, in my opinion, he understands that there are implications.
Right. Okay.
Can I come in?
Yes, you can.
Come in there?
You can come in.
Yes, I think there is an issue here, and I think I would just want to counsel my friend Mr. Njai and the GDC that when political parties speak, they must speak the language of facts so that they will not be ridiculed. Because an opposition party is a government in waiting. And I would have thought that at least they would have relied on provisions of the Constitution instead of personal opinions to come up the same way that they relied on, they mentioned Section 71 and 72, which gives the president the power to appoint and dismiss ministers. I think they could have done due diligence by also digging into the Constitution to see what it says. The vice president is required to have the same qualifications as that of the president. Because the vice president is a person who, if the president were to vacate the seat, would occupy that seat. The Gambian Constitution, Section 62, subsection 3, is very clear What it says is 3A, actually subsection 3 of section 62 said that a person while holding an office, that is those that are cannot be ministers or cannot be president,
right,
which encompasses the vice presidency, because meaning that if you were convicted of a crime while holding public office in the Gambia, a person who while holding public office in the Gambia has been, and you go to 3A, 3B, has been found guilty of any criminal offense by any court or tribunal established by law. It's not an open-ended thing. That only applies to anybody who, while holding office, was convicted of a crime. Mr. Dabo was not convicted of a crime while holding any public office. He was not a public servant. He was not elected into office. He was not appointed by the government. He was a private citizen, of course, a leader of a political party that is not considered as holding a public office. So I believe that the GDC, they raised some very important issues in their press release, but I think they would have done a greater job for their party if they had relied on the language of the Constitution, the language of facts, so that because now their whole press release that raised serious issues have now been muddied up by this misstep. But I think they are very, very wrong in this assertion that Dabo is unconstitutionally appointed as vice president.
You stay online there, Coach. Let me get back to Mambanik again. Did you guys in any way, like Coach say, put at the back of your mind when you mentioned section 71 and 72 on the reshufflement, but did not mention it in the Ousainou Darboe? Was that an oversight? Or?
Okay, let me say that having listened to my brother, you know, just to say that only people who are holding public office, who have gone through a criminal trial and have been convicted, should be barred from
holding public office.
Right. I really beg to differ, because does that mean that any criminal, any other criminal who has been convicted of a criminal offense and has never been a holder of public office can become a president of the Republic of the Gambia? Like I said, I'm not legally minded, but we still believe as a party that it was a criminal trial, whether or not he was holding a public office at the time, but he was a Gambian citizen, and he's still a Gambian citizen who was convicted for a criminal offense, and to the best of our knowledge, he's not been pardoned, and that's why we believe.
Like Coach said, you people still assuming, but you did not follow the law, what the law says.
No. I have to, because I also have a copy of the Constitution.
Right.
And
well, I will refer you then, Mr. Jai. Just go to section 62.
Okay,
section 3.
I'll do that.
And what it says here, for the interest of those that are listening,
yes.
Is that qualification for election as president.
Yes.
All right. So if you go to section 62, subsection 3,
yes.
It says a person who, while holding public office in the Gambia, has been then A, compulsory retired, terminated or dismissed from such an office, or B, has been found guilty of any criminal offense by any court or tribunal established by law, or C, has been found liable for misconduct, negligence, corruption, or improper behavior by any commission or committee of inquiry established by law, shall not be qualified for election as president. So the same qualifications. It's the same way that if Mr. Dabo had held dual citizenship, a citizenship that is other than the Gambia, that he would not have been qualified to become the vice president, because the vice presidency, the same qualifications that the president has is the same qualification that the vice president should have. And this was why when Fatmata Tambajang was first appointed, and the issue came about her age.
Right.
Because the age specifically is for president, but the vice president must meet those same criteria. Yes. This was why the Gambia government decided that they were going to go to the National Assembly to amend the constitution, that clause of the constitution, so that there will not be no age restriction. So but what I'm saying here is we all make mistakes. But if you are a political party, it is always important that when you speak the language of facts, based on facts, so that your message would not be muddied by mistakes that are made.
Thank you so much, Pastor Majau. Before you go, do you have anything for him?
No, he's made a valid point because you know, we are all in this together, and the primary beneficiary in everything that people do in this country, be it civil society organization, be it political parties, be it government, should be for the good of the country and should be to the best interest of the Gambian people. So like he said, all other issues that have been raised in this press release are particularly relevant, but also the fact that we believe, like I said, we believe Mr. Dabo was actually convicted. You understand? But like I said, I have a copy of the Constitution myself. You know, you called me whilst I was on my way from Banjul. Right. I just popped into the studio. But I thank Coach very well for his expose and his intervention. And, you know, it is a learning process. Right. You know, nobody would claim to say you have a monopoly of knowledge, regardless of where you stand in society.
Coach, are you still on the line?
Yes.
Thank you so much for your time.
No, thank you so very much, and keep on keeping on.
Thank you.
You know, we shall overcome, all of us. Thank you.
All right. So I will come back to you. But before that, on the other news, there was a press briefing today at the Office of the President. The Director of Press and Public Relations, Ami Bojan Susoho, held a press conference, and he discussed issues like environment, land matter, interior, and national documents. And to start with the environment, the Director of Press and Public Relations said the operation of the fish meal plant in Sanyang has been suspended until the existing laid-down requirements have been fulfilled. And on the land issue, land matters, he said the President has instituted an interim body to find out about the land area under the dispute in the country, and it has been reported that 40 hotspot sites have been identified. On the interior, he said the peace and security of the situation in the country has been generally calmed down, and the Brikama incident where a man was killed. We'll take a short break and we'll come back again.
Hey, what are you doing here?
I'm going to replace my AfriCell 3G SIM card.
Why use a 3G SIM card when you have a 4G phone? Replace your 3G SIM card today for the real AfriCell 4G SIM and receive 1 GB of internet data for free.
Really?
Yes, get 1 GB for free just by replacing your SIM card at any AfriCell outlet. With no loss of contact, the cost of bundle from the 3G SIM card is the same for the 4G SIM. And guess what? With the 4G SIM card, you can also connect to the 3G network as well.
This is so cool. I'll replace my 3G SIM card right away to the real 4G SIM and receive my very own 1 GB for free.
From AfriCell, it's always real and it's for free.
Where AfriCell goes, no one has the speed to follow.
Hey, what are you doing here?
I'm going to replace my AfriCell 3G SIM card.
Why use a 3G SIM card when you have a 4G phone? Replace your 3G SIM card today for the real AfriCell 4G SIM and receive 1 GB of internet data for free.
Really?
Yes, get 1 GB for free just by replacing your SIM card at any AfriCell outlet. With no loss of contact, the cost of bundle from the 3G SIM card is the same for the 4G SIM. And guess what? With the 4G SIM card, you can also connect to the 3G network as well.
This is so cool. I'll replace my 3G SIM card right away to the real 4G SIM and receive my very own 1 GB for free.
From AfriCell, it's always real and it's for free.
Where AfriCell goes, no one has the speed to follow.
President Barrow also accepted the resignation of former Vice President Fatmata Tambajang from the government and the offer to serve in the Foreign Service in a letter dated 4th of July. On the appointment before the former Vice President resigned from that position, in the Foreign Service, I don't think I'm in a position to give you the exact position that was suggested to her, proposed to her, but I know she has been given a proposal to serve in the Foreign Service, and she decided to decline that proposal. On the internal security, interior, the situation is calm until the Brikama incident where a man was killed. Investigations were done, and the President was informed that the people who were initially accused and as reported was not the case, and the actual killer has confessed, and the witness who was there also confessed, and they are now under remand. The printing of the national identity cards, the contractor is Simlex, and the details of the contract, I think you have been informed, are under review, and the President has been told that the agreement being reviewed is at its final stage. On justice, the President has also been updated that it was no longer tenable to have Mr. Alaji Kurang as Secretary to the Janneh Commission, and he has been replaced. Furthermore, on transportation, a policy decision has been reached to allocate some of the Turkish buses that were donated to the Gambia to the Edward Francis Small Hospital, Teaching Hospital, MDI, University of the Gambia, Gambia National Army, and the rest will be used for public transportation. On environment, the operations of the fish mill in Sanyang has been suspended until the requirements have been fulfilled. Also, the one in Katong has been closed because the water treatment plant is not in the right shape, and the case has been taken to court. Meanwhile, the President was informed that the VDC wants the plant to be reopened, but the technical advice the President got was that it cannot reopen unless it has the required standard.
TAF Africa Global is pleased to launch Dalaba Housing Estate. Dalaba Housing Estate is our newest estate located on the Sukuta Jabang Road. You can buy a finished 2 or 3 bedroom house or service plots accompanied with a free fence and gate. At Dalaba Housing Estate, you get to enjoy bituminized roads, gated and fenced properties, solar street lights, water reticulation, public amenities, 1,500 fruit trees aligned in streets, and many more. Make a 40% down payment today and spread the balance conveniently for 10 years with GT Bank, EcoBank, and Trust Bank. Terms and conditions apply. Wait, this is the best part. We are giving a discount on outright payments. For more information and exceptional service, please call our office line on +220 4410 Better still, call us on mobile or via WhatsApp on +220 376 2333 or +220 776 2333. You can also visit our website on www.tafafricahomes.com. TAF Africa Global. Our experience is global. Our focus is Africa.
Welcome back. After that short commercial break, so many people are asking the resignation of the Vice President. Maybe they don't understand what the Director of Press and at the Office of the President said was, President Barrow has accepted the resignation of former Vice President Fatoumata Tambajang from the government of the Gambia. In a letter dated 4 July 2018, Madam Tambajang declined the offer to serve in the Foreign Service. Her resignation came after she had been relieved of her position as Vice President and offered to work in a foreign service. She gave personal and professional reasons for her decision, and it was accepted by President Barrow. Trying to put things in the context here is, after she was relieved of Vice President, she and Safilosis and others were said to be redeployed to foreign service. So she was offered that service to go for foreign service, but we understand the Director of Press made it clear that she rejected that job offer, saying that it's based on personal and professional level. And on the upcoming events too, the Director of Press said, President Barrow will attend the opening ceremony of the ECOWAS Regional Competition Authority meeting. That will be tomorrow. And said, that will be held tomorrow. And as it's also said, which is also called, on Monday, 16th July 2018, President Barrow will embark on a nationwide tour to meet with a cross-section of Gambians and discuss national development issues. So President Barrow will begin a nationwide tour on the 16th of July 2018. So we'll take another break. We'll get Mariam Caesar's Viewers Cube. When we come back, we continue with the program.
I'm going to replace my AfriCell 3G SIM card.
Why use a 3G SIM card when you have a 4G phone? Replace your 3G SIM card today for the real AfriCell 4G SIM and receive 1 GB of internet data for free.
Really?
Yes, get 1 GB for free just by replacing your SIM card at any AfriCell outlet with no loss of contact. The cost of bundle from the 3G SIM card is the same for the 4G SIM. And guess what? With the 4G SIM card, you can also connect to the 3G network as well.
This is so cool. I'll replace my 3G SIM card right away to the real 4G SIM and receive my very own 1 GB for free.
From AfriCell, it's always real and it's for free.
Where AfriCell goes, no one has the speed to follow.
Hello lovely viewers, welcome back to Viewers Deep with Mariam Cisse. Lamin Cisse tweeted earlier and he said, exclusive interview with the British High Commissioner at Sharon Walder FCO on human rights, democracy, young people and the diplomatic relationship between the UK government and Gambia government by Maria Tijasi. On the other hand, US Embassy, Banjul, the Gambia also tweeted and they say, our competitive college club students recently covered on Mansa Kongkong for the media, rural education and leadership retreat public affairs officers Amelia Bodrick and culture affairs assistants Hap Federa made presentations on the new network's impact and US college administration process. And on the other hand, CNN Breaking News also tweeted and they say, President Donald Trump accused NATO ally Germany of being beholden to Russia because it buys energy from Moscow. Germany is captive of Russia, Trump said at the meeting in Brussels. On the other hand, on Facebook, State House of the Gambia also posted earlier and they say State House be willing media briefing in tomorrow, which is today Wednesday 11th July 2018 at 10 o'clock a.m. Interested accredited journalists are kindly urged to attend on time, at least be half an hour before. On the other hand, Gainako online newspaper posted and they say moving the Ministry of Youth and Sport MOYS forward by Felix Dan. 1. When the draft budget was being debated and allocated, the MOYS needed to prepare its list of activists and expenses for the year to ensure that all its activists are budgeted for, including satellite institution. Full story is on Facebook for more information. Thank you very much for watching, lovely viewers. Once again, this is Viewers Tube with Mariam Cisse, and don't forget to like our Facebook page before leaving. Thank you, and stay tuned for more.
fay lempo warugal la si képp koo xam ne doomi réew mi nga ak ñu fi dëkk bu fekkee ne ci at mi sa koom-koom weesu na $2,400 dalasi mbete weer bu nekk di nga am lu tollu si $2,000 dalasi lempo si la nguur gi di sukkandeku ngir liggéey yokkute réew mi GRA mooy banxaas bu nguuri Gambia sas ngir mu fayeku lépp luy lempo ci biir réew mi ba tax na GRA di yëgal faykati lempo yi ne warugal la pour ñu fay lu ñu naan withholding tax on contract payment manam bépp contrat bu waay joxe te ci biir réew mi lañu toog kon xaalis ci contrat bi ngeen nangotoo war nga cee wàññi ci xayma téeméer bu nekk fukka bu fekkee ne contracto bi dëkkut ci biir réew mi bu boobaa di nga war a wàññi téeméer bu nekk fukka ak juróom lii mooy lempo bu ñu naan withholding tax on contract payment lii mooy lempo bi nga xam ne yow mi joxe contrat warugal la nga wëlbatiku dem fay ko ci maakaani GRA tax office bu la gën a jege mbete ci banque yi GRA jagleel pour fay lempo war ngaa jébal lempo bi si diiri fukki fan ak juróom gannaaw bi nga wàññee ci xaalis si contrat bi amul benn contracto bu ñu teggil fay lempo bi xanaa mu fekk ne nguuri Gambia ñoo ko jégale boole si projet yi nga xam ne mbootaay ndimbali ñoo koy dépense GRA di fayeku lempo ngir yokkute réew mi.
Welcome back after that short commercial break and the viewers queue with Mariam Cisse there. I'm still here with Mbagnick Njie, the propaganda secretary of Gambia Democratic Congress. So we have discussed the cabinet supplement, the Davos appointment, the insecurity, the land dispute. Okay, now let's talk about the diesel and the petrol. You also mentioned that in your press release. So that like you said, $55 per liter is much higher than over the neighboring countries. So enlighten us on that as well.
Yeah, we believe that, I think in my recollection, I don't think petrol has been any time as expensive as it is now. And, you know, when people voted for a new Gambia, we realized that obviously change is an ongoing process. And what has been spoiled over a period of 22 years couldn't be fixed within 1 year or 2, perhaps even 5 years. But then there are basic things that Gambians anticipated would have taken a quick effect in their lives in terms of the cost of basic commodities, in terms of the cost of fuel. Of course, people will argue that the world market price determines the cost of fuel. But it is the same world market price that we've been living in for over the years, and the price of fuel has never been this high. What we are saying is that it should be the priority of government to start working towards, reducing the standard of living. And reducing the standard of living also, we realize that cannot be done overnight. But then you have to have plans, you have to have policies, you have to have strategies that will enable you to achieve that. That's why we keep on harping on the need to really develop the productive sectors of the economy, to enable Gambians to start exporting in order to generate a lot of foreign exchange and to really minimize the pressure of the dalasi against the foreign currencies. Because the higher the exchange rate, the more expensive the cost of commodities become.
Okay, on a 5, we are about to wrap up now. Finally, they said your statement that you need justice for forever victims with the view to prevent further incident. But someone will say you people were not listening to yourself when writing this press release, because already a commission has been set up to look into that matter.
Yes.
Yes.
Omar, setting a commission is one thing, but getting to the bottom of things is something else. So we are just reminding government that yes, it's good, and we are happy that the commission has been established. But we want to make sure that the findings of the commission are conclusive and the necessary actions and decisions to be taken.
Finally, what will be your message?
My message to every Gambian is that this country belongs to all of us. Okay. That there shouldn't be politics of segregation, there should be politics of character assassination. That in this country, whether you are UDP, APRC, GDC, DOI, we are all Gambians. And the decisions of the executive, the decisions of the government, the decisions of the opposition should all gear towards the interest of the Gambian people, for the good of the country. So that we see ourselves as brothers and sisters. There's a lot of negative messages, negative information and false information, making the rounds, particularly in social media, which is uncalled for. You cannot sit in the comfort of your house, record a message on WhatsApp against Omar Wali, knowing fully well that what you have said about Omar Wali is all false. I think we should definitely, trail down that road.
Okay, before you go, before we leave, I think somebody is on the line. Hello?
Hello, assalamu alaikum.
Hello?
Hello, Egamuel.
Yankemuel, Jamalem?
Ndlamo Karalan Kamara, Switzerland.
Okay, Karala, Benyadi.
Mbijandro.
Yo.
Ane kadu bese ngakol ki junan no basa fongal murnu koma.
Ha.
Ela ken lo left role anyinin kala because mamire e kan nyusula mo Gambia. Because fenge baba fenge ato dun lo adabula kuola.
Ha.
Bayrin batambedu josi mi se diamutale kunun ko UDP generation talk show ako lo adabula appointment mu lualati because the president a pardon.
Ha.
Yeah, pardon wala can be appointed as a vice president. Ya bari itin ko manyenda kela. I've left long ko batambedu ko anyenda kake because president a pardon itil ko amam pardon apihate wol fo mbala me ko men.
Ha, yalong.
So,
yeah. You want to respond? Yes. GDC mo bija men yalong kom get etela la fen ko nyin karabe jabela sainte.
Na kotoma. Yalong ko nyin amanke coming ka Ousseynou Kadjafi or coming moman la fi Ousseynou la. No, yalong bawon tol be nga falindiro kele nko Gambia nyanta falinna. Nka men fo wala mu nyimata kuna fanan inyanta me o men kela dron ye wakili isaje ko ya ke luale kan pour isaje ko ntemurula koteke comme men keta num jang sanji moangning fula koma yalo wo wato molbe bu ko sonna diamula molbe ka si dron ka foko ha ye moment ke dron abete yatale yalon hadama dingo te kelno la ani man sakunda la do ba te kelno la ani man sakunda mu hadama dingo leti hadama dingol le mu man sakundadi so kana foko don ntemu Ousainou Darboe wala ntemu Mama Kandeh hani ni Mama Kandeh kuke mi yalon ko amanyang nko ha a beteata le because ntemu Mama Kandeh ngamira gambela politiko nyanta tambila woleto nga memo menke nga Gambia la intereso jeje because ni Gambia beteata a beteata pour Gambia ko bele bari na tinyata fanan atinyata pour Gambia ko bele because ni adube bring fen ko keta wo impasse Gambia jelu le fintita ja na tara no amanke droit aning alala demaro tenun tolbe maybe tolbe fintita bankunga wala nan tolbe nyantan tol fang jela kom Gambia ko tolbe nyantan tol fango jela kom tolbe le denta bakiling fakiling al kana dum politique kaja fi politiko ani ñonondir politiko te sometimes kasi na so ko non kafe ngele para because kasi fa message sol même moy si fa nendirol si fa kuma jawol ma mira Gambia ko nyanta dunna wo politique si fa because tolbe le denta nyum bankunga
mbade ngamero ko mo nyin senate mala silan kodi
hande no man senate be amana ko moy
maybe ite joint na programme wala wati men itarre tal domani bari nga modo solo nun jang me ngalon ko ikafa e passama jaw
nga ko ci la moy be kan mem fa ko justice mi sakko yala loi kanne because president a pardon nte o dam manaf
okay nte lafta men jabi lan te ma wo moy malong aya fo lungo men na barinte ma wo president
kunungo he's on record me afo UDP generation talk show ako yala loi kanne because president ya pardon bata wala afo kunungo
okay ntema wo fen ko moy definitely
okay
abaraka back for your time
thank you
all right so we said finally
thank you for inviting me.
Thank you, viewers, for your time. With me, Omar Wali, and my crew. See you tomorrow. Bye-bye for now.